Well, look who it is, what the cat dragged in. I'm here again, Donna. I'm finally out of solitary, which is wonderful, and I have been given a chance to do Newsy News again. Now, first of all, I'd like to tell you that I'm being held in the butthole of humanity, Tallahassee, okay? So that needs to be changed. And second of all, have I talked to you about my son, Charlie? Now, listen, I used to have a daughter named Wendy. Miss me with that noise, ma'am. She done threw her brother under the train wreck. I just can't. So I only have a son, Charlie, now. Anyways, we're going to have some news here. Apparently, yes, I am going to talk about news. I'm not going to just talk about Charlie. Thank you so much. The producer over here, I cannot. Welcome, Cynthia, retired firefighter, Wolfram. Squid pro quo, AC's filed flower, ghostery, Brenda. We have to covet sometime, okay? Phoenix, welcome, welcome. Slinky, I see you. I do, Tammy. Oh my gosh, Marlana, oh my. Alice, great. Wonderful. A Spirit Fleck, we're here, we see you. Alice G. Spirit, Free Spirit Prepping and News. So first of all, I would like to say that my trial is going to be on soon, and I really need all your support. I am, in fact, the most non-guilty person you have ever met. And I'm being stuck here with the pause, although, can I tell you, so Sarah, my friend Sarah, who's helping with a letter campaign to the governor, no less, okay? She knows people. She makes the most wonderful hooch. I mean, this is coffee, Larry. Get off my ass. But anyway, so she takes some orange juice, and I don't know, she had 7 blends and spices. She's like her own kernel of a prison hooch, and it's the best, okay? So if you ever get, locked up in God's butthole Tallahassee, just make sure you know Sarah. She'll give you the best booze, okay? Anyway, let's start with our first story because I'm getting yacked out in my ear to let's go. And they're not even paying me, okay? I could have gone to Al Jazeera, all right? Murdered Colorado woman's autopsy years after she vanished on Mother's Day bike ride raises obvious questions in light of unknown male DNA. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's a mystery, and her poor mom, oh my god. When you lose a good child, I mean, I have one out of 3 isn't bad, but when you lose a good child, it sucks. Several months after Suzanne Morphew's body was found, years after her Mother's Day 2020 disappearance while riding her bike in Colorado, investigators have confirmed that she was a victim of a homicide. I thought she's been missing for years. I mean, where are the police? They're over here persecuting people like me and not dealing with real crimes. I'm stuck here with the pause. I would like someone to help me out. How do I get in touch with the Supreme Court? Morphew was 49. I mean, just a young girl. I just turned 49 2 years ago, too. Sweetie, I know. Never returned home on May 10th, 2020, after she went out for a bike ride in Chaffee County. And not long after that, investigators focused only on her husband. They were railroading him. I swear, these cops are terrible. They try to entrap you in. Have you heard about the entrapment that's going on in my case? I mean, the damn feds thought they acted like a cartel. Are you kidding me? And they wiretapped my phone. Is this fakakta like Russia or something? I thought we had America. I thought this was America. I thought we had rights. But apparently they went all against this Barry guy. Now, I will be honest with you. I have not paid attention to anyone else but myself, so I don't really know anything about court cases beyond my own. And Captain Kern, I am Donna Sue Adelson. The perhaps, look, it's a conspiracy. The media is going to tell you that I may be just a little bit of dabbling in murder and conspiracy to murder, but it's all lies. I was set up. It's a frame job, okay? So I'm reporting live from jail. I just got out of solitary because someone's an asshole. Larry. The God Larry over there, okay? He is not even middle class, okay? He drives a Focus. Why they put me in this fakakta place, I don't know. But apparently the case against Barry fell apart in the 11th Judicial District back in 2024 because the judge in the case identified violations made by the prosecutors as egregious. Well, we all knew that prosecutors are egregious, okay? I think we're there. We're there, sweetie. Not to mention that there was unknown male DNA, which turned up in CODIS, and that is in fact how you find real criminals. Yeah, maybe you should go find real crimes, okay? That was linked to assaults of a terrible nature in Chicago as well as Phoenix and Tempe. So obviously this person, not my Charlie, not me, but somebody over here is just a maniac and must be caught. While the Colorado Bureau of Investigation announced Monday that Suzanne Morphew was the victim of a homicide, investigators that noted her death was caused by undetermined means. And there was just a crap ton of downers in her system. I can't. I mean, this poor woman, especially on Mother's Day, like, look, my Charlie can't send me a card in Mother's Day, but he used to paint me the most beautiful finger paintings. He was a senior in college. I should have noticed that, but you know, he's my Charlie. The details shared about the presence of, not legal drugs and such in there has made it very obvious that this was, something foul went on. So there's questions like, was she drugged? Was she unalived by this unknown man? Or did he just help her with her bicycle one day? I mean, we don't know. It almost seems like they bungled this fakakta investigation from the beginning. Okay, I don't mean to cast aspersions, but I think they messed this up, okay? Recall that Barry Morphew sued because prosecutors and investigators knew 5 months before his arrest that there was this unknown DNA. Okay, this is corruption right here. Where is the president? I demand George Washington out of his grave. I'm going to talk to his manager, his mother. Get him out because there just seems to be no truth in law anymore, okay? None. Again, have I told you I have to stay here with the pause? Look, I don't understand this. My husband's a dentist. My son was a dentist. I mean, okay, he got his degree in Guam, but it's what you do when you love your kids, okay? You send them to Guam. So it's just so weird because all of this DNA was found in the interior cushion of the bike helmet, on her bike, on a glove box, in the back seat of her Range Rover. Oh, she must have been vested because Range Rovers are quality vehicles, okay? Now, I have a cousin, I'm not telling you nothing, but you go down to Yonkers, all right? He will give you a good deal, okay? But you have to tell him I sent you also. Send me a nail file or something. I need to get out of here. In our next story, we seem to be solving all the old cases. Midtown Jane Doe finally ID'd thanks partially to an eerie twist 20 years after remains found in a cement at a former New York hotspot. Well, what happened to her? Like I said, I don't pay attention to things that aren't about me. NYPD detectives have finally ID'd the remains of a woman found mysteriously entombed in cement at a former famed Hell's Kitchen hotspot 20 years ago. And they were eerily helped along by a 9/11 victim. Well, isn't this compelling? This is just like, so the girls and I in here, it's not like the Golden Girls, but we will watch the hell out of that. It's like kvetching with your friends. Okay. Cops believe the woman, who is only known as Midtown Jane Doe, after her skeleton was found by construction workers at a 301st West 46th Street in Manhattan in February 2003, is Patricia Kathleen McGlone, a teen girl from Sunset Park, Brooklyn, who was last seen in the 1960s. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I'm kvetching. For that mother to know finally where her daughter is, I'm verklempt. I'm a lovely mother, and I get it. I have all the motherly love in me, my black shriveled heart. Detective Ryan Glass of the NYPD's Cold Case Squad finally got a positive ID on McGlone after years of exhaustive old school gumshoe detective work. Oh my gosh, anything in the Pulp Fiction. Whew. It's a little spicy, but black and white. You get Cary Grant smoking a cigarette. Tell me that doesn't get some gutters on the floor, if you know what I'm saying. I tell Harvey, you put on an old movie, black and white. Well, when I'm not incarcerated. So they found this out using high-tech forensic and genealogical investigative tools. So here's what I say, though. Do not give the government your DNA. It's only going to add to bad things. I'm pretty sure that's how they planted and made all this conspiracy about me. I wanted to see just how awesome I was genetically. And then I get run up on a case. I mean, is it coincidence or is it coincidence? I think not. So some of this involved DNA of a woman that was unfortunately passed away on September 11th, 2001. Rest in peace. And whose first name was also Patricia. I'm telling you, it's kismet. You know, we have these things where, coincidence. And I'm telling you, I did my 23andMe and then I get caught up on a crime. I'm telling you, you don't need a tinfoil hat. I know it. The government did it. Now we can start the next phase of the investigation, finding the unaliver of this poor person. And you know what? You go to bat for your family. I'm just telling you, if I was this kid's mother, I would be on their behinds, on their little tushies to find my daughter's killer. That's just, every day I would be calling, and calling. So hopefully they find whoever robbed this woman of her life. And God bless, even though I hate to say this, the officers that are looking for these cold case people, because sometimes they do good work. I mean, not in my case, but sometimes. Everyone is someone's child, and we have to bring closure, he said. McGlone was between 17 or 19 years old when investigators believed that she was unfortunately unalived, bound in electrical wire, and wrapped in carpet and cemented it into the building's basement. What kind of Jimmy Hoffa, night mob, horse in your bed is this? I can't. So this was put into a building that was once mob-tied rock and roll club, The Scene. Look, I'm not saying I went there a little bit as a young Donna Sue, but I may be known to have some disco fever, okay? McGlone's body was discovered when construction workers broke up a slab of cement in the building's basement, and her skull rolled across the floor. Dear God, hands on the Torah or the Bible, whichever you believe, I was nope right out of there. No, sir, no, ma'am. That's how you get poltergeists. You do not mess with that stuff. You take holy water, you get a priest. No, we don't do evil spirits rising. No, I have seen Evil Dead. No. Now, inside this makeshift tomb was a wristwatch and some kid's toy and a signet ring with the initials PMCG. See, they raised her right. You know what? In the South, although I don't always claim it, you do look at how the initials line up if your child's going to get married because you don't want it to say something. I'm just get the holy water, get the holy water. I no. No, we will call in the big guns. You know what? This is why we keep the Catholics around, okay? It's for this exorcism stuff because I ain't playing with no ghost. Casper, you get on out of here unless you're kosher, okay? But the department's investigation into the macabre find, which was splashed all across the pages of the Post in 2003, soon ran around a ground given limited forensic technology. I mean, how smart are people? How smart are people that they can figure this out, but they can't figure out that I was framed? Also, Sarah's hooch. God bless. Oh, and look at him. He is in a suit. Look how proud. His mom is probably just over the moon. Look at him looking all proud with his little chief thing right next to him. Oh, I could just pinch his little cheeks. Oh my God. He just looks like such a proud little police officer. I bet he sent this to his mother. Do you think so? Like with a bunch of flowers, like thanks for raising me. That's what I would do. I'm not saying anything, but Wendy, I'm calling out to you, okay? You think you can go out with your little highlights and your little biolage or whatever it is, and look all innocent, but we know what you wrote, okay? You're not that smart. Anyway, they are looking and they are trying to find out what happened to this child. And, my heart stops for the mom. It really does. So I hope they find and bring this person to justice. Now, in a terrible but happy story, look at this. I don't know where she picks these stories out. It makes no sense. You've got a murder mystery solved and then a cat in an Amazon bag. I can't. Okay, so a Utah cat was found in an Amazon warehouse a week after sneaking into a return box. That sounds like something my cats would do. To be honest with you, it's a cat thing. Galena, a timid indoor cat, survived for 6 days without food or water before being discovered by a warehouse worker in Los Angeles. You can't make this stuff up. You can't do it. Where is this cat going? Why did they return something? Why didn't they have their assistant do it? I just don't get it. A Utah couple were perplexed when one day their shy cat, Galena, suddenly disappeared. And then she was found in an Amazon warehouse all the way in California. I mean, look, I think we all grew up with Garfield, if I'm not mistaken. And didn't we always ship Nermal to Abu Dhabi? I mean, seriously, this has to be a cat dream. Maybe she ate all the mice. I don't know. Galena mysteriously went missing on April the 10th, but her owners couldn't figure out how the indoor cat would disappear. Because maybe it was like a cry for help. I haven't seen the cat yet, but maybe it was like, do you think she's one of those women that dresses her cat up? Because I think I would escape too, unless it was designer. All right, you get me some Gucci, we're good. Anything else, don't put it on this body. Here with the paws. Just ugh. This is fruit of the loom. I mean, fruit of the loom. What the hell am I supposed to do with fruit of the loom? I don't even know where to get that on a brand store. You can't even put that on the S&P 500, okay? I have hives. I have hives all over. Just hives. Just, it's gross. Anywho, they found this cat, in California. They called a veterinarian, which was very good service. She didn't even have to call and yell because I would have called and yelled. I would have asked for the regional manager and maybe the executive manager. Okay. That's how we roll. You want to get good service, you complain a whole lot. That's just how it is. Anyway, he was okay, or the baby was okay. And she must have, just jumped in that whatever they bought. I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe she was buying some, toned down for her hair. It's so blonde. I don't know. That was a terrible pause. Okay. I'm trying to be a better person. Oh, they've got the calf. Thank God. No, it's not on there. Why is it on this one and not on that one? No idea. There's the cat. That beautiful, beautiful cat. I definitely think that we should, if she is dressing the cat, though, I think that is a punishable offense and a felony, if you ask me. But I'm not a cat, so maybe the cat's into it. Look, it is 2024. We don't question. It, I would love to see people take responsibility for like their actions. I would love for someone to say accountability. Now, I mean, I think that I've taken accountability of being awesome and raising awesome children. Well, at least one that I claim still. In this infuriating article, a student accused of just viciously attacking an aide in a viral video blames the school in a new lawsuit. Quote, he was a ticking time bomb. You know what, sir? You have to take responsibility for your own actions. Unless you're me and you never did anything wrong, except, give up everything for your children to prosper and be good. And then they go to the cops and they become a snitch. Or they ruin the entire plan by driving right next to the crime scene, saying they were going to go get liquor. Wendy, I'm talking to you now, sweetie. You need to get your brother Charlie out of prison. We've all helped you as much as we can. I have to live here among the poors in Tallahassee, God's butthole, for right now. But you could change all that. Anywho, yes, I am going to get on with the story. Stop nagging at me. Yes, I am out of solitary as long as Larry gets his head out of, well, hit the stick out of his ass. I love you, Larry. So anyways, let's get back to this. But I really do think that people need to start to take accountability. I don't know if I said defrost, but I will tell you that I spent at least an hour going through acting classes on YouTube trying to get this accent right. And the things that they want people to do, I don't even understand it. I'll just stick with, channeling my inner Linda, because I have no idea how to soften my back palate, at least not in 2 hours. I'm an old-fashioned kind of girl. I need more time. The Florida high school student with autism accused of violently attacking a teacher's aide over a Nintendo video game has filed a stunning lawsuit against the school district, accusing it of failing to make interventions to address his bad behavior, even though he was said to be a ticking time bomb. Sir, you have control of your hands and your fingers, right? I mean, I'm not telling you what to do right now, so you can, not act like a jackass. People these days, children these days, just not taking responsibility. Brendan Deppa, 18, has filed a lawsuit against Flagler County Public Schools, accusing the district of failing to meet his needs in the lineup to the shocking February 21st incident that was caught on video and went viral. Deppa was 17. Oh, well, then he was just a baby, right? 17. No, how about the parents go on trial? I mean, I don't approve. Oh, thank you, Wolfram, for gifting 5 memberships. And those went to Tammy, Marlena, K. Matt, Free Spirit, and D. Robertson. Look, y'all, I can't enunciate in my own accent, let alone this, whatever this needs to be. How is it this is the school's fault? No, please explain this to me because I need to know. So you go out and you are violent with someone, but it's someone else's problem? I mean, I was only framed by the FBI. Sir, I don't know what your mother's trying to do. Anyway, the surveillance video released by Flagler County Sheriff's Office allegedly showed the 6'6", 270-pound student running up and just haymakering this teacher's aide. And she was on the ground. I'm not even allowed to show the video. It's so freaking violent. The teacher aide is seen on the ground for several minutes before others getting in to help. Unfortunately, this teacher's aide suffered 5 broken ribs, a severe concussion, loss of hearing in one ear, and other issues that resulted. I mean, this is terrible. The incident was sparked after Deppa was refused permission to use the Nintendo Switch console. The complaint alleges that the district failed to address Deppa's disability through proper behavioral plan on multiple occasions, ultimately leading to the attack. No, sir. No. The district should be held to account for its failures, which have forever changed the trajectory of this young man's life. No, he did. He changed the trajectory of his life. And I'm sorry that you didn't parent him well enough for him to understand that you control your hands and your feet. Also, the school is not the parents. You shouldn't have kept him home for years and years, realizing he was going to have to mainstream at some point, therefore be overwhelmed by all the stimuli in the school. You should have let your little baby bird grow out of the nest. But instead, you're going to make it the school's problem. You're going to make it everybody's problem but his. And that's shite. It says that he had a history of trauma and mental health issues, along with several disabilities that impact him in a school setting. Deppa is smart, but he was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. You know what? I'm getting real tired because I know beautiful, lovely, and wonderful people that have, are on the spectrum or have those characteristics. And I am so tired of this being used as a crutch. No, no, no. It just means you react differently to, social issues and cues, and hell, everyone has a problem humaning. I'm tired of it. Take responsibility. He was explosive in nature and was ignored, and his need for social and pragmatic language interventions was not sufficiently addressed. Well, then, my dear, whoever's making this lawsuit, I hope you are wanting to pay for him to go to a private, autism Montessori school. Just no, no, we are not even, no, we are not entertaining this. This child made an adult choice and he has to act like an adult. And this is the poor woman that he did a line back, just tackle on. She's what? All of 110 pounds soaking wet? Just no. No, I don't care. Now, I think the mother and Depa are fighting him being charged as an adult. He pled no contest late last year to first-degree felony aggravated battery on an elected official or education employee charge that could be punishable by up to 30 years in prison. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him going to. This was a big adult decision. And unfortunately, you have to pay for big adult decisions. I wish you had made a better choice. I wish you had thought about for 5 seconds not doing this. But after the fact, to blame everyone but yourself, that dog don't hunt, Monsignor. That dog won't hunt. So I hope that he gets a little bit of help. But right now, I'm sorry, you gotta atone for your crime. This teacher has long-lasting, life-changing problems too. And maybe we are all getting a little tired of having to, coddle the baby feelings of people who attack people. Maybe we just like to, bring justice for the victims. I don't know. I'm back here. I'm behind bars on a fake fakakta charge. But even I know that's not justice. Oh no, do I really have to read this? Yes, I do. Are you kidding me? No, I don't want to read about this. This is gross. It's part of the job? Oh, oh, everyone is against me. All right. I read this under protest because real ladies shouldn't talk about these kind of things. But sexsomnia, an embarrassing sleep disorder no one wants to talk about, especially me. This is gross. I'm already stuck here with the pores. I have to use fruit of the fakaktalum. Are you kidding me? And I got to talk about sexsomnia? I should have gone with Al Jazeera. They wouldn't have made me do any of this. They also wouldn't have given me time. Okay, all in balance, I get a little bit give and take. All right. A 38-year-old man repeatedly tries to force his wife to do the horizontal tango in the middle of the night, but has no memory of it when he wakes up. I think that's called marriage. I mean, after a while, you get a little pep out of your step, but sounds like Harvey. He's a, I don't want to talk out of turn, but it's the quiet ones that'll wear you out, okay? Harvey is a quiet one. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. A married woman in her mid-40 often tears off her clothing and loves herself, but remembers nothing when her partner rouses her. Again, have you been married before? Look, they have these items. Look, this is, come over to Donna. I'm not telling you, but I'm telling you. There are these adult sculptural items that you can use as a lady if maybe you don't have a hobby in your life, okay? Take it from me. For a dozen years, a 31-year-old man would self-love while asleep. At times, he would injure his groin. See, that's what I had to tell Charlie. I was like, look, you keep pulling it like that, it's not Stretch Armstrong. It's not Stretch Armstrong. It's just not. Stop. I'm so glad you've been here for a month, Tammy. This is awesome. So as I was saying, I had to tell Charlie, I was like, look, if you keep pulling it like that, it's not Gumby, okay? It's not Pokey, it's not Gumby. It's gonna stay like that, and you're just gonna have, I mean, how am I even going to buy you shorts? Uh, he was embarrassed due to his unconscious behavior and avoided relationship for years. Oh, you poor man. How is your mom ever going to get grandchildren that they can try to, well, look, I love my grandchildren so much that I was willing to maybe cross some lines. But if you keep having this stuff, you're never going to get a girlfriend. And think of the laundry. Oh my God, the laundry. While it may seem as if people are acting out their dreams, many parasomnias, ooh, I learned a new word, occur when the brain is not in dream state. So really, you're just weird. Said Dr. Carlos Schneck. I wonder if he's married. Wendy, he's a doctor. He's a doctor, Wendy. Oh, giraffe girl. One second. Giraffe girl, I am so sorry. I hope that they are taking really good care of you. Okay, so let's see. Now he is a professor. He's a doctor and a professor. Wendy, return my calls. Call this man and see if he's single. He is a senior staff psychiatrist at Hennepin County Medical. Oh, maybe we don't want a psychiatrist. He's going to say we have all sorts of issues, and we're perfect. We really are. These are disorders of arousal. I really have to say this, ew, said Schneck, who has been studying parasomnias for decades. They most often occur during the slowest, deepest stage of sleep, called delta sleep. Interesting. It's like an alarm or a trigger goes off in the nervous system, and you go from your basement to your roof in no time flat. Your cognition is deeply asleep, and you're not with the program, but your body's activated. I don't get it. So you're really deeply asleep, but you're dreaming of Patrick Swayze? Is this how we're explaining this? I mean, some of you are dreaming about a Ford Tempest. Some people are dreaming about Patrick Swayze. I don't care. I don't judge. Whoever you love, you love. All right. Unless it's a blender, then I really have to ask you, I don't know. Captain Kern, let's keep reading. Maybe we can get it. Get some more. I don't get it. So that's dangerous because when you start walking and running and doing all sorts of things without your mind being awake. Have you met some of the people at Walmart? I think everyone's suffering there. Just asking. It's difficult to study sexsomnia because unless people injure themselves, can you imagine going to the doctor? I just woke up and it was all bruised and bent. Oh, Lord. Gonna have to go see my rabbi after this. I don't know. Or they try to push themselves on their unconscious partner. I mean, you really don't know you're doing anything. Although you would think the sheets would tell the tale. I'm just saying. Use Tide, not eat the pods. I don't understand you kids. But still. Quote, there are some people who will... Okay, let's see here. Where was I? Readers. A 2010 study quizzed 1,000 randomly selected adults in Norway and found out 7% have experienced sexsomnia. at least once during their lives, and nearly 3% were currently living with the condition. I love a good shrimp scampi with a nice white wine. I mean, nothing out of a box and nothing Sarah made. I mean, just a lovely crisp white wine while you're talking about, conspiracy. It's beautiful. I had the paella. So it can ruin lives. Oh my God. So the episodes first began in 2005, according to one woman's husband. About twice a month, his wife would engage in dirty talk and words she would never use while awake. I mean, how is this a problem? I don't know. The doctor fixed her. Apparently, she no longer, talks like a sailor on shore leave. At times, the woman would touch her husband in his fun places during the night, and they would engage in, you know, this Mexi time until she woke up and she was like, oh, hell no, we are not doing this. I have a headache. This was discussed in the contract. You know how I feel about post-marital sex. I'm against it. I'm not see yeah, I think that's a bad move, doctor. But apparently she was very upset that, this would start happening when she wasn't awake, which, She also apparently engaged in self-love while calling out other men's names, including a male coworker, leading her husband to believe she was cheating on him. However, partners should not assume that people with sexsomnia are allowing a secret to escape from their unconsciousness. Oh my God. Can you imagine how many cheaters are now just going to say they have sexsomnia? Like, no, it's a medical condition, sweetie. That's why I have the clap and I yell out other people's names. No, baby, I didn't mean to cheat. I was asleep. Sleep fell into her. I don't see it working, but, women are crazy. Do it at your own peril. The sleeping brain is wired very differently from the waking brain, he said. You're not conscious when you're asleep. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You went to school for 18 years to tell me you're not awake when you're asleep? I gotta love these medical doctors. Make you fill out paperwork that you already done filled out the paperwork for, then not read it, then ask you why the hell you're here. I'm like, well, I filled out the paperwork in triplicate. I thought someone would read it. But no. So you're not conscious when you're asleep, so you can't reach any valid conclusions about so-called lying or truth-telling in your sleep. The woman refused to believe her husband's descriptions of her behavior for years, finally seeking professional treatment in 2015 after her 9-year-old son heard her moaning while asleep. Well, now you just created another Norman Bates. Look, if he starts to own a hotel, I'm out of here. Nope. Just no. I don't even, for the love of, sometimes I just look at chat and I have no idea what's going on. And I'm okay with it. That was terrible, terrible, Schneck said. And what was really disconcerting to these patients is they have total amnesia. It's the bed partner or family member telling them, you did this. Why did you do that? And then the partner says, I don't remember anything. Oh my God. What if it was the best smexy time you ever had? Like you were both really, really there. And then all of a sudden it was a dream and she doesn't remember. She doesn't remember anything. She also may have called you flipper. I'm just saying. I mean, what if it's the most crazy, like, real good. I'm just, I don't, why do I have to read this article? I've never done anything this bad in my entire life. Yes, I am aware I am already in prison. Yes, unintentionally. At times, people have even been arrested for their behaviors. There can certainly be legal consequences for these behaviors, particularly with minors, but also aggressive behaviors during sleep. There's a whole area of sleep forensics to deal with these issues, he said. They do a comprehensive evaluation, case history, and interviews with relatives and other things to sort out whether it's an excuse or the real thing. Slinky, I don't know, but I would think that it would help me with all my hang-ups if I was just, unconscious. In fact, I might be relaxed for the first time in my entire life. I mean, I don't know. My body would probably combust. It doesn't know how to deal with relaxed. Now, this is a woman who knows how to deal with the cops. When a Danish woman, or when Danish police pulled a woman over, she locked herself in the car and refused to talk. That's what you do. You wait for a supervisor. You wait, and then you wait for the supervisor of the supervisor. You just keep asking for another manager. That's how you deal with this. I have learned. I talked to this gal over here. Her name is Estelle. Anyway, she said there's something called a sovereign citizen. And apparently we can't be jailed for nothing. So I'm going to tell my lawyer about it. Because apparently if you say a couple magic words and remind people about, this isn't an admiralty court, you get out of jail, prison free. That's what I've heard. All right. A routine traffic stop on a highway south of Denmark's capital turned into an unusual standoff as a 26-year-old woman locked her car and refused to speak to the police officer who had pulled her over, authorities said Thursday. I didn't know that I could just refuse to be arrested. I would have done that. How did I not know about this? The Central and West Zealand police said in a daily report that the woman, who was not identified, was originally pulled over near the town of Koge on Wednesday for talking on a handheld cell phone while driving and not wearing a seatbelt. If she wasn't wearing clean underwear, I don't know what her mother would think. Please tell me she had clean underwear on. Police also noted that her tires were worn out and there was no rear window. Also, the vehicle's insurance had expired. Well, we all have these days. It's, who among us hasn't, not had a rear window or insurance or tires? We should extend some grace. To open the car instead of, taking her God-given sovereign citizen right to keep her land boat intact, the officers called a mechanic, and once that was done, they detained the woman and took her to the hospital for a blood test. They thought she was drunk. There are many reasons that you would simply roll up the windows on the cops. Let's see. Inside the car, police found 2 folding knives, leading to additional charges. Look, I'm just saying. We ladies have to keep, not for nothing, okay, but I have learned some crafting tools here. And let's just say I could be quite lethargic, all right? I'm pretty sure that's a word. Look, I'm still trying to learn about my land boat and subject matter jurisdiction and objecture. Okay, so I'm not quite sure, but I am learning the arts and crafts. Apparently, there were no other details listed. So what have we learned today? We have learned that I am in prison, stuck in Tallahassee. And really, I shouldn't even be there. Wendy, my daughter, Wendy Adelson did it all. And, for some Gucci or just not Fruit of the Loom, I'm willing to talk. So I think I'm going to go tell Larry I'm about done with this Fruit of the Loom. Anyway, my lovely audience, I am sending you over to Shizzy. I am going to see Donna, take a little walk around outside, and then I will be joining him for, I think it's Florida Man. Not that I would have any experience with that because I didn't hang out with the Paws, but apparently there's a Florida thing going on. Anywhoozle, I love y'all. Remember my plight. Remember my plight. I'm in prison here. Send letters to Amnesty International, to, DeSantis, to Sarah Boone. I don't know. Just help me get out of here. I don't want to drink toilet hooch no more. Bye, guys.